Hello explorers and welcome to another video. Today we are going to talk about S3 and we're going to continue on the client I built last time. I'm going to leave a link to that and add some more functions for deleting, more finding things in your object storage. Let's switch over to my screen here. So here I have my test client where I have a bunch of different commands. Last time we had these commands so we could check if something exists, we could put data, we could get data, and we could delete data. And today we are going to check what's in the object storage and then delete multiple or move multiple. So if we check down here, we add 4 new items to the object storage. We list all those items, then we move them to a new directory or a new key. So everything in an object storage, it's saved by a key. So you have a key and a value, which is some data object. And in this case, you could say that a key could be a path, but it could be anything pretty much. But you could say that I want to search something by their prefix in order to find a specific value. So in this case, I take these test work prefix up here and I change it up to test data. I list those keys out. I delete with prefix, so I delete everything that has the prefix test and then list the keys again. So if we check at the result here, and when I run it earlier, we see the earlier response up here, and then we put 4 values. We list it, we see that we have 4 values, and the first here is a continuation token. I'm going to talk about that more later on. That is to list more items. And then we have the move, so we move from work to data. So there's move prefix here, and see that that works. And then we have the delete with prefix, and we have an empty list again. So let's switch over to the client here and look at the functions. So what we're going to look at is list keys, copy data, because we can copy, not move actually. And then we're going to move data, move with the prefix, and delete with prefix. So if we look at the list keys here, this is a very simple implementation of this. You have a get function which gets text XML, and we add the data as we did last time. We say that this is private, this object, and we use the standard storage class. And in Ceph, we don't really have that many different standard storage classes. It will differ on an S3 storage. And then we will create our signature up here. We will create our context as normal. The difference will come down here. First off, we need to figure out if we have a continuation token, and if so, we will put that on the URL as a continuation token. Then we have this string here where we say that we want to list. We type 2. We want to have 100 keys. You can set that to any value, but you don't want to get too much data at one time. So you have the continuation token to fetch more data after a while. So set this to a reasonable amount of values. And then we have the prefix, that's what we want to search with, and the continuation token. So then we have the XML string down here. We see if we get some XML from this file get contents. If not, we will return an empty or a false continuation token and an empty list. And we will check if we can parse it. If not, we will do the same thing here. And then we have next continuation token. Set that to false. We check if this is a truncated list, if there is more to read. If so, we will set the next continuation token to our parameter here. Then we go through each key in the list. So we create a key list, and we will push each key from this contents array here. So this content here contains creation date and a bunch of metadata, and also the key for the specific object. And then I will respond with continuation token and the key list in my response. So that was the list key function. If we go over to copy data, this function is pretty cool when I found out. So here we can put something as text XML again. So this second one I don't think is that important actually. And then we have the where we actually check the data here. So we create a signature, and the thing that we have in the signature that is extra between ACL and storage type is this copy source. So we set a key in a bucket, so bucket/key, we add that to our header, and that means that it will copy that data on the actual server side. So we don't really need to download any data, upload data again. We can move things around on the server side. So we copy from a source, and then we will create a signature there. Remember the importance of having these in alphabetical order. So I put ACL, copy from, and storage type in alphabetical order in order to get the correct signature, and then we will create a context from that. And down here, what we do is pretty much file get contents on the to key. So we say where it should be put. So that command is pretty cool because we can copy things on the server side with just sending in some metadata. Then moving around, very simple function. We will copy some data and then we will delete some data. So, and if we can't copy, we'll return false. If delete data fails, it will return false as well. So that's a very simple function. Move with prefix then. So here we will need to keep track on the continuation token. So while it's not false, so as long as we have something in our continuation token, we will fetch the response from list keys from prefix. You use that up here. So we have a from prefix and a to prefix and the continuation token. Then we will get the continuation token from the 0th index of the response value, and then we will get the first index of the response value, and we will loop through all the keys as a from key, and then to get the to key we will use the to prefix and then substring the from key with the from prefix. So we will start at the end of the from prefix in the from key, and then we will move data from key to key. So we will order to move that key from one key to the other key. And if we can't do that, we will return false, otherwise we will return true. When it comes to the delete, it's a bit different because we don't really care about the next continuation token. Because if we delete keys, they are no longer there. So we can go through and check as long as we have a continuation token, we need to continue. We will list keys and fetch a response, of course. And in the response here, we will check the next continuation token. We will get that and put that here in the response from the response 0th index. And then for each, we will take that response as a key, and we will delete data with that key. And if we come the next time around here, all those keys that we got in the first request will already be deleted, so we'll not get those again, and we can delete data again. So we don't really care about any continuation token because it doesn't really matter. The only reason it matters is to see that if we should continue or not. If this at any point fails to delete anything, we will return false, otherwise we will return true. So this was what I wanted to cover today. I hope that you found this interesting. I hope that you learned something more from the S3 API. Having a way to actually both add data and read data and figure out which keys are available to you is very powerful, because if you don't want to keep track of them in a database somewhere and you just want to find out if something is there, or if you are using like a directory structure where you add a bunch of keys to one directory and then you want to remove all of them because that thing of your application is no longer valid, so you want to delete it, then this is a very powerful way of doing that. If you like this video, give it a like, share it with your friends and colleagues. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. If you have any comments or suggestions, leave them down in the comment section down below. I read all of them, and I really hope to see you in the next video.